Alright, let's test equalization. And let us begin. Stream is live. As usual, today we have Peacecow, hello, Boats,
yo,
and Toki, Clown Piece, here today with us.
Hey, yo.
So, as usual, let's get stuff going with the usual equalization, setting stuff up, and let's see. So, for those of you that are in the chat as of right now, I would appreciate it if you would tell me if the BGM is too loud, too low, or if other people are too loud or too low, including myself. Let's wait a little bit to see and get that in place. And we'll also wait for other people to gather as we start, before we start answering these questions. So, how you two feeling today, eh?
feeling good.
Looking forward to the new CC.
Oh god. Speaking of which.
Do you feel prepared
Oh.
for CC3?
Yeah, speaking of shoot, CC number 1. Oh my gosh. Who do you think we're gonna meet? Like that new boss that they're saying, oh, we're gonna meet a new boss.
It's an old boss, isn't it?
Well, old boss, a familiar face. Is it gonna be Frost Nova?
Right.
Do you think they're gonna put W in there?
Frost Nova would be cruel. We just monster.
Yeah.
Your fans are from Ian, right?
Yeah. It's like, I don't know, like looking back on it, who is female? Misha, W from chapter 1, Bonebreaker, well that one's male. The second Bonebreaker was female. We also had Crown Slayer, Frost Nova, and
I'm kind of hoping it's Crown Slayer.
yeah, Crown Slayer would be kind of nice.
But what about that boss in chapter 3? He's on a boss note, but he doesn't actually have a name.
Oh,
It's like-
the freaking Sarcasm one?
Sarcasm, yeah. Could be him.
Oh yeah, it could be him too.
Or,
Alright, let me send out the notification because I forgot to do that again. I forget every single time. Alright, everything is set and ready to go. Alright, so, one last call. Equalization is good. Background music louder or silenter. Is one of our voices too loud or too silent? Including Toki, Botsu, and or I. Spam refresh gang, notification gang. Hello. Hello you all. Thank you all for coming today. Okay, I take it there's no problem with it then. So, without further ado, let's just start getting in. So the way that we're thinking of doing it is we have these pre-asked questions over here. So we're gonna answer them one at a time. But as we answer them, if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. And then we'll do it in an order of we answer one of the pre-asked questions, and then we'll do 2 or 3 of the questions we have in chat. So ask away if you have any questions, but we'll start off with the first question. So, first question, can I know some of the good melee units to use? 6 stars, 5 stars, 4 stars, because I currently think that I have a ranged team, but I would rather not use range, so I would be happy to know which ground units are good to have. Thanks. Okay, so we'll start this off with Boats answering then. Do you think you're up to it?
Okay, sure. Some of the good melee units to use: Astasia, Shen for DPS magic, because you need magic damage for the permanent CC map, because a lot of the enemies have just ridiculous armor. So for DPS, Shen and Astasia are good. For healing, if you're doing a melee comp, you need some kind of melee healer like
Saria?
need Saria or Neural. You can use Gummy, but you really need to use less attack buffs from enemies. Other than that, let's see who else. If you want, anybody else wants to add in some other characters?
Toki, would you like to follow up?
I'm trying to think also about the daily maps. Like the daily maps, the drone map, you're not going to see too much going on with your melees. But with the plaza map, right, it's really heavy on the vanguards, I'd say.
Yeah.
Heavy testing your vanguards, right? So if you have Texas, definitely get Texas and try and see if you can put 1 or 2 masters into her second skill this time. It's a great opener.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, Sage's second skill.
Yeah, Myrtle, obviously, for the extra cost recovery. Hellagur is good in both of the dog rush maps, the dog rush map and also the permanent CC map, because you can place him in the you can place him on the daily one in the middle to take care of the caster enemy. He's really good on that map as well. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, Hellagur would also be great for the drone map, right? As bait, because he can self-heal.
Yes,
there's that one tile on the far left.
That's exactly what I did. Speaking of which, I actually, so one thing that I have been thinking about is the recommendation for Specter. Now we all know that she has something that none other operator has, right? Guts. But for the situation that we're in, we see the usage of her utility in risk 25 and CC permanent map. But the question is, if I don't have Schwarz to kill off the axe people, then is Spectre actually needed for CC E2? Because like a lot of people have been like raising Spectre, and I've actually been really conflicted in recommending Spectre. Now that's the thing that I would like to ask you all.
One thing about Spectre is that the timing for her skill 2 is really precise. If you're using Spectre and you're not having like Schwarz as like a DPS for her, or you're not having Shen as a DPS for her, you're gonna have a real hard problem just killing the enemies. Like if you do a really high level CC and you don't have those other backup DPS for her, then you're gonna have a hard time killing the enemies before the skill ends, aren't you?
Yes, definitely. So then I think we can all agree that it's not worth E2ing Spectre just for CC, right? Overall, she's still a great unit, but for that purpose,
I think you could use her on different with a different placement. But everywhere when I see her in the videos, it's having her as like the main tank for the axe boys, where she's sitting there and she's using her skill 2 every time there's an axe guy coming. That requires like really high skill level.
Yeah.
To keep it up every time that's gonna for each one of them that's gonna come by. And if the skill isn't up, she's gonna die.
You remember in the pre-update Risk 19, I could have sworn I saw Spectre tanking the Avengers instead.
Oh yeah. Speaking of which,
yeah.
Somebody asked Karu, did any of you manage Risk 18 in the first week? I didn't.
I did not.
Neither did Boats, but I believe Toki over here did. Would you like to share some of your thoughts for it?
Risk 18. I think actually most of the Risk 18 videos I know of cleared using 10 operators, but I think that if you're short on time, it might be a lot easier to go for the the ban or max 7 operator risk. So you only have to raise 7 operators, but you have to be very specific about who you raise. And if you can do that, then Risk 18 pre-update is quite attainable for even if you don't have that much time on EN. Right, because you're raising fewer operators. And I don't know. Risk 18. The hard part, I guess, would be having the right operators at the right time. I think when CN launched, I think this is one of the later questions as well. When CC first launched on CN, because no one really knew what to expect. They knew it would be hard, but they were kind of thinking like,
we got
the past events are all really.
There's a lot of operators that we thought were kind of niche before CC, and then CC came around and we're like, oh god, we need these operators. Like, Saria was always really good, but she was never like, oh my god, this character is just so important. everybody needs to level her skill 1 to the M3. You know, before CC, she was just, you know, like a really solid unit. Same with Hellagur. Like, he was pretty niche before CC, I thought.
Yeah, holy shoot. I remember when I was shit-talking Hellagur so much because of his thing where he can't do his max damage unless he's low. But holy shoot, did I get proved wrong in this in the first CC. Like, he fragged the hell out in the CC. Next question in the chat. Newbie intro. Now that they opened up the first CC map in CN, has anybody completed Risk 26? I can answer you this with no, because there is no Risk 18 or up. Actually, there's no Risk 13 or up after the permanent map, because after the first CC, Sector 59 turned into the one of the rotational maps, and we had a whole new map appear as the permanent map. For that permanent map in CC number 0, which is the second CC, I know it's a little bit confusing, we cleared up to Risk 27. Toki, can you confirm?
Yeah, 27.
Yeah, 27. Okay, nice. So that was that.
It's a different set of risk in a different map,
Yeah.
so it really doesn't translate. But
So, with that one answered, we go on to the next question. This one. GamePress said that you can clear Risk 18 without having the greater contracts. For you, what contract should a free-to-play players be able, if not absolutely, use to clear Risk 18? And the minimal levels of operators for that, if possible, to answer. Now this is gonna be a long question, so let's talk about this. Toki, let's start with you, shall we? If you understand.
I think about the free risks that come in the post update. The first one that comes to mind is definitely the cost regen debuff. If you have a Myrtle at all, and you raised her, or plus, let's say either a Texas or a Siege, both of which are great cost generators and good at killing the first few mobs. If you have those two operators, even as a noob, you don't have to raise them to very high levels, like Elite 1, maybe Elite 2. It's free.
Even without Myrtle, the first one, the minus 25%, you can usually get away with that without. You don't even necessarily need a Vanguard on your team to do the first, just minus 25%.
Yeah, I remember.
You can get by without the Vanguard at all and still cover that one.
Yeah, I remember it to be quite lenient with it. Thankfully, the minus 75% didn't appear in the permanent map. Yeah.
Also, if you're doing a caster comp, the all allied units max HP decreased by 75% is pretty doable, because if you're using a caster comp, you're not really getting hit by very many things except for the enemy casters. But you can use characters like Gravel to summon them in to tank the caster enemies for you, and it's not as big of a problem as it would seem. But if you're doing a melee comp, that's really a tough one.
Yeah. Now, one other thing that I would like to say is one thing that I really like to consider for this one is the thought process of choosing the target concealed operation tag, which is the one that limits your operators. Bring 10, bring 13, bring 7, or bring 4. Now, as a free-to-play player, this one is quite interesting to think, because, okay, so right now, the big question for free-to-play players, or Arknights players, EN players in general, is how do I diversify? Well, not even diversify. How do I manage my operators' levels? Should I level up these 4 operators that can absolutely carry me to victory for these maps, or should I spread out a little bit more and raise up my operators a little bit more averagely? Instead of having 4 E2s, I choose to get 8 E1 max levels. So then, this one is a really interesting concept for you guys to think about, like, to look at your team and think about. Because bringing 4 operators, it's a 3 risk for sure, but bringing only 4 operators is really limited.
Really limited.
Yeah.
You need to be really sure about what you're bringing.
Now, the interesting about bringing 4 operators is, even though you only bring 4 operators, it does not mean that you can only deploy 4 operators. So that means if you have a really high level summoner, like Maglan for example, you might be able to get away with those extra summons and utilize these facts. Of course, I'm not saying this with a specific strat in mind, but it is a possibility for you guys to think about. Anyhow, only bringing 10 operators is pretty much a free risk. The tiles, depending on what type of caster, depending on what type of setup you're going. If you're going for a range setup, this is definitely a no-go. But if you're going for a melee setup, this is very, very doable. This one over here, like it's basically in CC, at least in the permanent map, it's pretty divided between are you caster comp or range comp for the most part. So if you're caster comp, you pick. If you're range comp, sorry. It's basically mostly divided into range comp versus melee compositions. So if you're range comp, you don't pick this, but if you're melee comp, you pick this. If you're melee comp, you can then choose to pick some other stuff like anti-mobility, while if you're range comp, picking this is just certain death and stuff like that.
Yeah, and one other thing also, the environment, arduous terrain, that's one that's very, very easy for a melee comp, but it gets a lot, it really cripples a range comp, because most of the banned tiles are going to be ranged tiles on that one. It really limits the placement for your casters, so you can't really take those if you're a caster comp.
Mm-hmm. But yeah.
Because it X's out most of your placement.
What about the two?
I think on the last one, the 10 tiles, you only get one range tile on the entire map.
Yeah.
So you obviously can't do much.
The one range tile you get is the one you use for the slow support.
Yeah.
Pushing.
You can put Magalan.
Magalan or Avengers.
So then what about the two specific enemy buffs? So we know for sure that there's going to be the Avenger, the Weeb buff, and then we know that there's the other one, which is the Militant buff. Now, a lot of the guides and whatnot, I know we do put it out of proportion, where we meme a lot and say like, watch out for the Avengers, watch out for the Avengers. And it is true, but a lot of people also ignore or fail to notice the tags, which are the as it's translated over here, target destroy equipments 2 or 3, which are the militants or the axe boys or gas max, whatever you want to call them, the stuff that buffs them to that extent. How viable do you think it is to choose these things as a free-to-play player?
I think if you're a free-to-play, you don't want to choose either of those, unless you're a caster comp, and then maybe, but it's really, really tough. If you're a melee comp and you're choosing even the first one, the destroy equipments too, then your defender is going to get blown up.
Now the other issue is also how magic resistance works and how like the defenders increase HP and defense. So then you have like another thought process to go through. For example, the Avengers increase defense, while the Militiants or the Axe Boys increase resistance instead of defense. So then you have this really weird option of, do I go caster comp or do I go sniper comp? Can I brute force it enough with the caster comp? Are my casters high enough to use destroy equipments too and stuff like that? But most of the time, this is one of the risks that you want to avoid. Although usually Pulverizing Blade 2, which is the Avenger buff, the minor one, is actually a pretty okay pick in most cases. So now let's go back to the chat and see if we can answer any questions over here. What about risk 18 the first week? Any tip on which risk to take? Options are very, very limited. Toki.
Yeah. if you're on first, can you even do
max risk
the caster comp with 18 on the first week?
Toki?
No. No, wait. If you're doing a caster comp, you have to take environment 2. Because the max risk, I remember, is 20. You want to add this, maybe? I believe it's 20. So that means you have to take environment 2, and you get one more risk to take out somewhere. And I'm assuming you can't do it with 4 operators. So you have to take concealed operations 2.
All right, let me
So you're
calculate.
banning most of the.
Okay, so let's calculate this really quick. This is risk 1 contracts, right? So let's see if we can get up to 18. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Make that 6. 6, 9, 12. If I had to take this, okay, 12, 15, and then let's say we bring 7 operators. 12, 15, 17. Okay, so you can actually, oh god, you're only bringing 4 operators and you can't for a range composition. The highest one seems to be, 1 second, I kick my water bottle away.
It's impossible with the range comp, and because you're talking about
Else.
you
Yeah,
have like no space for anybody. Also, yeah, go for it. I was gonna read another one from the chat.
for first week, yeah, it's really any tips on which risk to take. It's everything that is 2, and then for the 3s, you have to decide. So for example, all enemy HP increased by 150%. You're basically killing 2.5 enemies per enemy released in the map. Say you have the militians, you're killing him 2.5 times. You're killing him 2 times over. For the pulverizing blade, defense increased by 200%. That's 3 times the amount of normal defense he has. HP increased by 120%. Same thing. Like, the things stack up exponentially once you go up to risk 3. Although 10 operators, it seems pretty fine. That's a freebie. 7 operators is a little bit more limiting. And then 4 operators, as we already know, it's like, god dang it, I can't do anything. For the environment thing, 6 of the map tiles are banned. You still have a lot around like the whole right side to work with. But with 10 of the tiles on the map banned, you basically can't use any range at all. And the one range tile that you're able to use is put in a really weird spot that you can't use for healers, and it's basically only for like support with feeder to do the Katana boys cheese. So I guess which tip the tip to take for week 1 risk is all of the number 1s and all of the number 2s that you can take. The numbers 3s you have to decide for yourself.
Yeah, if you were gonna try to do 18, I think you would do the only set. You can only bring 7 operators, and then you would you'd also what could you you've got 20 total. So you take the level 2 katana and then the level 2 target concealed operations. I think that would be what you would go for, right? If you were gonna try to do 18, those are the only concessions you'd make, right?
Maybe. Toki, which ones did you choose that time for that 18 clear?
7 operators, a concealed operation 2, environment 3. I think I took weave 3, and then health, either health or attack, one of those 2, and the other one at 3, and then the remaining risks.
So like we can basically assume these are all freebies. So tactical target final defense line, that's a freebie. Anti-mobility is mostly a freebie if you're going for melee composition. Anti-armor is also basically a freebie. I assume.
What risk did you get to, Zach?
18.
On the first week, I mean.
Oh, first week I got to like 11. I was like, holy shoot, I can't do this. All I have is a siege as a guard. I was caster comp. No, I was sniper composition with Schwarz, so I had nothing to work with that time. Not to mention I was also very, very noob and stuff like that. So
I think me I was trying to chase Reez. I know Reez got to like 16.
Yeah, Reez got to 16. That was brave.
I was only 15, I think, before then. On the first week, 15. Reez is here.
Oh, Reez.
Yeah, I'm here.
Hello. Okay, nice, perfect. Okay, so today we also have Reez joining us. Known for his application in all of his specialist and slow memes, as well as specialist and supporter. Hello, Reez. Let me just tune your voice really quick.
Okay.
Are you loud enough? Testing.
Testing.
Alright, it was just...
My mic is bad. Wait.
Alright, you're good. Alright, so let's move on to the next question for now.
Okay.
Caesar.
I saw one before in the chat, way long ago, and somebody asked if you can do a caster comp without
Mostima?
blue X and Mostima.
Yeah.
Yes, you can.
You can, right? I've been thinking about it. So
Yeah, you can definitely do it without Mostima. It's just she provides a good bit of, she does a good mix of damage and utility, because most of her skills do some kind of crowd control. Both of her main skills, 2 and 3, do crowd control, and they do a decent amount of damage too. So like that covers a good portion of what you need to beat the CC permanent map just alone. Otherwise, if you get rid of her, you need extra damage somewhere else, or you need extra CC somewhere.
Most importantly, it's her SP regen buff for all casters. 0.4 regen buff.
Oh yeah, I always forget about that thing. Thank you for reminding.
That's higher than Philopsis's buff for casters.
Tea applesauce.
Tea applesauce. Well, okay, so instead of rather than just providing that huge ass stun with their skill 2 and whatnot, I guess her most important aspect is actually her talents, right? The 1.4. Oh my gosh, yeah, that's actually pretty huge now that I think of it. I always forget that's a thing.
Yeah, I mean, when I did my caster comp, I used Glaucus instead of Mostima, but I had to use extra damage with Aya. Aya and Ifrit, both really high level, so they did the extra DPS with a caster comp. If you don't use them, you need the extra damage somewhere, because the enemies on a caster comp are usually really tanky, because you have to pick up extra risks. So you either take like super high attack like buffs, which you can do because you don't get hit very much, but you also have to take a lot of HP buffs on the enemies, so that they're going to be super tanky, and it's going to take a really long time to kill those Katana boys once they've got HP plus 120%, and you've got enemy HP plus 60%. That stacks together, so it's going to be it's nuts. They take forever.
If you're going for a caster comp, you might as well see if you can go for a mix with some specialists. Like Panda, a pusher, and a slower. Or Ethan.
Oh yeah, caster specialist composition does sound kind of nice. I don't believe anybody tried a complete caster comp with specialists inside. Have they on Bilibili?
Complete caster comp with specialists inside?
Yeah.
You use with a caster comp, you can use Manticore, Ethan. You do Panda to push enemies back. You can use Shaw to push enemies back. Yeah, any of the specialists are usually pretty good. Use Gravel to go after the caster enemies, or use Red to go after caster. Okay, so we got another question. Is Mostima worth pulling for?
Yes, the big question that everybody's asking. I personally can't say because I never got her and I never really got to use her.
I pulled and I didn't get her either. I don't know.
Toki or Rez, would one of you like to answer?
No, I got 3 of it.
Oh,
yes.
Do you think Mostima? So the answer is yes, it's worth pulling from Mostima. Rez, Lapu?
Yeah.
Toki?
No.
Rez says no. Toki says yes.
No, I don't like it.
We're divided.
Do you wish you had Blaze instead? Is
All
that
right.
why?
So let's take a look at both sides then. Rez, why do you think Mostima isn't worth it?
Because it's too much for me.
Wait, what do you mean by too
Costly?
much? Elaborate, please. Too many operators to level, or
Did you pop up in your limited banner?
he's dead. No, he's gone.
I think the biggest reason, okay, so here, if you're pulling from Mostima, you have to think about the entire banner, right? So you've got Mostima and you got Waifu. So, waifu, I don't. She's good. She's okay. She's pretty good, but she's not like super necessary for anything. She's very, very niche. And then you've got Mostima, who is also like, she's a good CC, she's good damage, but she's not like, you're never going to be like, I can't beat this map because I don't have Mostima.
But okay, so my question is she worth the 0.4 extra utility, even if you have Telopsis? Toki, what do you think?
Yeah, Philopsis. How extreme do you want to take your casters? I guess. How many of the casters do you already have? If you have almost all of the casters and you intend on raising them to max, it's kind of a no-brainer in that case. But if you're like a normal player and you're treating the casters as, say, just part of your main team, just a part of your main team, there's really no reason to go for that 0.4 over, say, Phidiopsis' 0.3 or at all.
Yeah, I'd say it's like, you also got to remember the next banner that's coming up is Blaze, who's just ridiculously good. Ridiculously good. The bigger problem though is that, like, you're looking at Mostima and doing is that about to buy?
No. Just showing the operators that are in right now. Don't worry about it. Continue with your Mostima.
Okay, so if you get Mostima, she's more CC than anything, and so if you're using her, you're not supposed to be expecting like she's gonna carry your damage or anything, but she's still really good. Just know that your opportunity costing here for Blaze or some future operator that you're doing, if you're on a budget, you can't get everybody. Who are you aiming your team? Do you looking for somebody that's just going to carry you like a Blaze might, or are you going to try just getting waifus?
I think, yeah, that's the whole thing there. Alright, let's see. Next question. Are summoners any good in CC? I think this is a very... I don't use summoners that much, so I can't really answer. I think it's a yes, but Rez, are you still here? Nope,
Poor
they're dead.
Rezes.
He's dead. He's dead. Toki,
He's dead.
did you use any summoners in your CC run?
Not on the permanent map, I don't think. I did use was it Meyer a lot on the drone maps.
Okay, so yes, then summoners are very good in CC. One whole rotation map is used a lot just because of, oh god, I hate drone maps so much.
What do you? I know one of the questions was which one's more difficult. Do you think? I think that really depends on your operators.
And the risks. I mean, when I was trying to go for max risk on all the rotation maps, and for both of the maps, there were days where the risks were just really nasty. The combinations of them.
Just remember day 13. Oh my gosh, take a look at this. Bomb tilt and HP increased by 300% and attack increased by 100%. Range is also increased by 50%. Enemies attack increased by 35%.
Get one shot.
Yeah, no, like, I hated drone maps so much. Oh, speaking of which, let's act. I'm sorry. Before we answer the next question, actually, let's talk about the selection of risks. Like, which one should we avoid? Because, like, I felt like that was a huge thing.
I really hate the environment arduous terrain because it blocks the 5 tiles in the very front on the range tiles. So you have to use snipers that your snipers won't be able to hit the drones, on their own unless they're the AoE snipers.
See, I was the opposite. I loved this one so much because I had platinum. Platinum with that extra range reached as far all the way to the end. Along with Meteorite, they basically held down the whole lane.
Yeah, if you have Meteorite, then that map is really easy for that contract. But if you don't, then it's really annoying because you're gonna have to wait until they start moving before you can.
Yeah. And then there's like other stuff which are like for example, I don't know, which one do you think you had the most problem with? The risk?
Crossbows. Range and crossbows.
Yeah, extra range, the +1 range, so that the snipers will hit the enemy snipers will hit your snipers right from.
There are 2 tiles where they won't hit with the plus range ones. It's the topmost tile and the bottommost tile on the right column.
Yeah.
But that's it. Otherwise, while the snipers are when they spawn in, they stand there for whatever reason, for however long, they're pelting your snipers. And if you take the attack speed increase, because it comes with attack speed increase as well, right? And if you take attack damage increase as well, on top of that, you basically have to think of something else.
Oh yeah, attacks increased by 80%, range increase. Yeah, these sometimes these wombo comps are just really nasty to handle.
Do you see the terrain ban as well on that day?
Yeah, 10 of the tiles on the map are banned.
They banned the 1 tile that you could use as bait on the melee stuff.
Oh yeah, that too.
Yeah.
This tile is...
Oh, that 1 tile in the front.
Yeah.
It's a really good tile for either siege or who's the Hoshiguma. You can put Hoshiguma right in there, and all the snipers and all the drones will hit her and kill themselves if you have a high enough level Hoshiguma and M3 skill 2. Very, very nice.
Yeah.
Alright. I think now it would be the time to answer one of the questions that we had saved up. Oh, this one's a fun one. How prepared was CN for their first ever CC? How was their performance? Alright. So I guess the best way to do this is to break down into the free-to-play players, how should I break this down? It's like we have the group that knows the big Dallos that are on Bilibili, and then we have Toki over here, which is our second Dallo of the EN server, and then we had our normies, which is Botsy and I back then. I was definitely not prepared at all. My whole team was consisting of vanguards and 1 or 2 good snipers, with Angelina as my caster. So then this ragtag team could only clear up to risk 11 for that first week. And then I had a lot of troubles on the drone map dailies because, again, I didn't have that many snipers. All I had was my Angelina and Platinum. But instead, because I had very strong vanguards, Baron Plaza was a breeze for me, relatively speaking, compared to all the other stuff that I did. What about you, Boats? Were you prepared?
I was not prepared at all. Oh, one thing that was the main problem is when I came into CC, I was more on a strategy of diversifying my roster. You probably heard something like this before, but if you have a lot of characters that are kind of all over the place, then you go into CC and you need specific operators that do specific kind of things. Not necessarily specific operators, but you need specific roles to cover for some of the maps. And if you don't have them, you kind of need to either borrow them or you need to like quickly build. You get a lot of time to build them during CC, but you kind of need specific things like a healer tank is something that if you're doing a melee comp, you kind of need them. You need somebody, even if it's not Saria, and you need somebody. Otherwise, it's just not gonna happen.
What about you, Toki?
I actually had the same problem as Boatsu, but my issue was not having enough masteries. Because the thing I did was I did all my Elite 2s first before I started on my masteries. So by the time CC dropped, I had only just started with my masteries. I had like 9 or 10. So it's really the same problem when you're hitting risk 18. It's like you don't have enough Elite 2s, you don't have enough diverse, like the right operators for that. risk, 18 clear or whatever, but like when you're going for even higher risk, it's like you don't have enough masteries and the right skills for this. And I think what a lot of CM players were expecting, myself included, was like this would be about as maybe a little bit more challenging than the last event.
God, we were so freaking naive back then. Now that I think of it, like, oh,
It was so much fun to just hit the brick wall and be like, oh god, what am I gonna do?
Yeah, brutal as hell. So,
I kind of understand, like, you know, that rumor about, I'm not sure it turned out to be true. One of the groups, players in CN server, had their own
server?
hacked team client. Yeah, their own server. And they were testing out basically max level, max mastery ops for everything. To like get an edge and know who to raise. Come to think of it, that might have, I can kind of see why that's really frustrating for other people.
Yeah, that was kind of, it kind of was a cheating in the sense that they had like the stuff to work with. Yeah, like you had the notes already there for you, stuff like that. To like, what do you call it? To anchor off of that? No, not anchor. To like, I can't find the English word for it. But like, okay, so then how it comes to the question of how should we prepare? Like, this is, I guess this is the huge question everybody's been searching for. It's like on YouTube, I said 3 to 4 at E2s and then start mastery 3s and then elaborating on your field. And then Technone said E155 because as a free-to-play player that's behind, and stuff like that. So like, in your two opinions, also thank you so much, Nox. In your opinions, you two, what do you think would be a good middle ground? Like, what would be a good, okay, I'm a bit late, but I would like to catch up. What's the direction we should work towards? Assuming I have only one E2.
My issue with that is that it's hard to tell exactly what, if you only have like 1 or 2 E2s, I think you probably would be better off just trying to get a team together that could challenge it instead of trying to focus on, exactly, 2 really OP units, because you're also, a lot of the points are coming from the dailies, and you're gonna need characters that might not be good in a permanent map, but they're good in the dailies. So my opinion is get a team together of that fit the roles, and then work on E2ing them, and then work on mastering later. What do you think? Because if you're new and you can't even E2 everybody that you have on one team, then I think you're better off just getting like a baseline to be able to be like a lower level clear, even if you're not gonna be able to challenge the 18.
May I second that? Plain and simply, there are many clears for post-update Risk 18 that don't involve any skill masteries, but they do involve some E2s. And like Botsy said, the focus, if you're starting out really new and you want some of the rewards, as much of the rewards as possible, the focus really should be on the daily rotation maps. If you're super serious about it, I guess one thing you could try and do is like look at your box, see what operators you have, and then try and look at all the daily clears and just figure out which of your operators feature in most of those daily clears, risk gate clears, and go from there. You should find that it's only like a dozen, maybe a dozen and a half or so operators that overlap or appear in all of them.
Yeah.
It's not that bad.
Like, I feel like both times, like, okay, so like, Risk 18 honestly really isn't that bad, but it just really sounds bad because you're not getting all the rewards, per se.
Yeah, like really... even if you're free to play and you're like you started pretty early, you should be able to beat Risk 18. It's just, if you're like starting recently, then you're gonna have a real tough time. You shouldn't expect to beat Risk 18 if you started, like right now.
Okay, yeah.
Unless you like really specifically got the characters and you only leveled them specifically for this event and you were like really prepared and efficient on your leveling. But if you were started back during like, I don't know, early days, granny event, something like that, you should be able to clear risk 18.
Yeah. So then, on to the next question. Ooh, by Kampung 86. Realistically, you can put the buff on the Katana boys if you don't let them hit you, right?
Yeah.
I would say yes, but then again, you have to make up because remember. Okay, let me click this really quick. For the fixed map for the Katana boys, they get a huge increase in defense and HP.
Yeah.
Now,
One of the things for the Katana boys is that if you're doing the high risk Katana boys, then you really want a feeder because you can't take the hits. You just die. You get one shot.
So if you,
That's like the thing. If you're doing certain risks, you need certain like precautions. Go ahead. Sorry.
yeah, sorry. If the person asking the question, you already know that you're going to use, say, the pusher, the feeder strat, to keep the Avengers at bay, then the only thing you have to worry about is how many of the health risks you can take, in addition to Katana 3. Because a feeder can only push 2 Avengers at a time, and even when there are only 2 Avengers in the lane, if you bring a slow like Angelina or Istina, they're not actually able to slow the Katana boys enough. So every like 30 or so seconds, one of the Avengers can get one swing at your feeder. Feeder has dodge, so sometimes it works out, but other times, depending on her level, she might be taken down really low. And of course, you also, like I said, you can't let 3 Avengers build up. She can only push 2. So the only thing you have to worry about is what's your time to kill on at least one of the Avengers every cycle. That's all.
Now that's a detail that even I missed. She can only push 2 Avengers, so you're gonna have to watch out for the health risk because even though they walk through the Originium tile, the tile that makes them bleed, it's like depending on which risk you take, because remember, risk do stack together. All enemy units HP increased by 150%, stacks with HP increased by 120% to make it.
I'm pretty sure it's multiplicative.
Is it multiplicative?
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Oh my gosh. But yeah, you can see how it stacks, and there's like a lot of things to watch out. But realistically, can you put the buff on the Katana boys if you don't let them hit you? Yes. But it's not that simple, as you've just heard.
Yeah. You can prepare for it, but you don't want to be sitting there tanking them. You're gonna that. You're just gonna.
All right.
I think there's been a lot of chat questions. You want to answer one of those?
Chat question? Yeah, that's what we're trying right now. Mendix, Peacecow, any 4-star only range setups for CC? Are there any?
I'm sure there are. But you'd have to like search weird places to find one. Like,
I don't
you
believe...
need. I know there was one with that did the tanking with Gumi, and it was a melee comp with Gumi and a mouse as like the core tanking DPS, and then I don't remember the rest. You used Korra to tank the Avengers for a while. I forgot the rest of them.
Yeah. Because, like, from what I saw, there was only one clear that used all 4 stars. And even then, the 4 stars were E2 max 4 stars.
Yeah, you're talking like, it's like, even though it's like 4 stars, you have to raise them so much that it's almost inefficient. It's a what's the word for that?
Not worth it?
It's not even like worth it in the sense that you'd have to max them out to where you'd be cheaper to build a 5-star team.
I don't know. Maybe a part of it is that CN at the time didn't really have so much resources because we couldn't eat as many Originium as we wanted, right?
Yeah,
So-
that was true.
There weren't, I think, that many players who are playing around with like 4-star teams. Maybe Ian could find new ways of clearing with just 4
Oh
stars.
yeah, I do hope so. But unfortunately, the I don't know what do you call it, the big YouTubers and the people that do use the, it doesn't seem like they're gonna do that because this is like they already know that CC is just a pain to do with 4 stars. Like the big thing with 4 stars is a lot of them are utility based rather than damage based. Out of all the 4 stars, I think only Haze is purely damage based, having even more DPS than Amiya with their skill 2. But of course with that big minus 75% decrease in our max HP and stuff like that. But if you think about the 4 stars, like, okay, Vigna does damage, Matoi Maru doesn't really do that much damage compared to like Melantha per se. It's a minor increase. Other 4 stars, Frostleaf doesn't have that much attack. Her skills are slow and it's utility based. Ethan, same thing. Who else? Gray, Gitano, none of them are really that like bursty in
Heavy
their attack.
DPS, yeah.
Yeah. It's like you could argue Jessica, but then again it's like compared to 5 stars, why Jessica? And it's like the whole issue of that. It's like goes down and down and down and down. So basically for CC, it's like, why do you want to do this 4-star clear? It's not practical at all even then. Because even back in the day, like, even now for events, like you can see like, okay, 4-star, just use their upgrade. You can do that, right? But in this case, it's like, it's not even worth raising the 4-star because the requirements for that DPS, for that health, for the survivability is just that high. And stuff like that.
Yep.
Keru, what are M3 priorities in your opinion? I know Chen, FEater, and Silverash, but realistically. I think this one is better for Toki. He raised more M3s than I did for CC.
What is this realistically?
What M3's priorities are... what are the M3 priorities? They know about Chen, FEater, and Silverash, but who else?
Chen, FEater, Silverash, Lapland. I'm going for a melee comp. Saria S1, S2, Neural S1. If you don't have
you're going for a range comp, Aya, skill 2, Ifrit, skill 2.
No, take skill 3.
Oh,
Or
skill
Ifrit.
3 for Ifrit? Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one that takes magic resist off. Skill 2 is defense off. So, yeah. Well, this would be if you get Mostima, I guess, skill 2.
You were using Schwarz to kill the tanks and use skill 3 mastery. Feeder, skill 1.
Right.
So FEater, Silverash, Lapland. Do you think Mouse is a good option?
Mouse is actually, when you hit Mastery 3 and you pair with Chen, she can take the damage debuff 100% of the time. So the enemy is always debuffed if you pair with a Chen at Mastery 3.
This
If
is
you
assuming
pair
Chen
with
is E2,
I don't think she needs to be E2.
so just E1
Right.
is enough.
Yeah. It could be-
One of the main points is the damage reduction on her skill 2. So
yeah.
even if she's only E1, you still want to get her higher for the extra damage reduction. And raising masteries on 4 stars is not
Cheap.
too crazy.
Well, it's cheaper. At
What
least.
about the Vanguards? Because we already, well, obviously Myrtle, we say. What about Texas? Has anybody M3 Texas? I thought her skill
Texas
2...
is a good replace. I don't know if you could say she's a replacement for Myrtle, but what the reason why you need Myrtle is not just because she's like the best at cost recovery. Is because when you start at the map, you need somebody that can use the first skill as fast as possible, because on the map like the dog map where they rush you can lose before you can even get a unit out if you use somebody that's really costly as one of your vanguards. Like, so if you tried to use Siege and you don't have any potentials, and you don't have, like Zima or Texas on your team, then you can lose on a cost recovery minus 75% map
First
if
off,
you have them before you even get a chance to do anything.
Yeah.
Whereas if you use Texas, then you get the 2 extra cost, and you can place Texas down, and if you have her M3'd on skill 2, then you can use the skill really, really quick. You could get by with a Texas instead of a Mer.
the joke goes like Texas uses her skill 2 to summon an Exia.
Yeah.
That's a really good opening. If you also have an Exia and you put her skill 3 up, preferably at also mastery 3. If you mastery 3 Texas skill 2, also do that for Exia skill 3, because then that covers your opening. You open with Texas, activate her skill, put down Exia. You can retreat Texas now, because once Exia's skill goes on, none of the docks are going to pass for 30 seconds. 30 seconds to regen cost and deploy anything. That's pretty great.
Yeah. Also think about the other guys, like, how about the casters? It's like, I think somebody was asking about Amiya the other day. It's like, okay, Amiya skill 3.
Amiya, I don't know if she didn't really get any use in the CC itself. She was pretty decent in Code of Brawl, but until chapter 7, not too useful in regular maps.
I didn't use her, but I don't know what. Like, how much does the math come out to? She does true damage.
Mm-hmm.
How much damage does it end up being?
I think it's... I don't
40,000?
remember anymore. It was like somewhere around the 40...
2,000?
Yeah.
I mean,
40.
total for the entire duration of the skill.
No, I don't remember.
Yeah.
Alright, then let's just move on to the next question, because this one's going nowhere. On SpecTech, has anybody tried using the Originium tile to buff their operators? Oh, nope, you can't put them on there. And we wanted to. Like, by hell did we want to. It wasn't the case.
Too bad.
Yeah, it was really just unfortunate. Okay. Dragon, hey, CN is getting new CC2. I heard this time there's a boss, Crown Slayer, or Frost Nova. Want to show us your preparation expectation? I guess we can answer this really quick then. Have you guys prepared for anything? I feel like I'm preparing for resistance buffs.
One thing I prepared is I have a big feeling that we're gonna need a lot of res for bosses. If there's any kind of caster enemy in the CC that's anything like the last one, I think it's about time that Nightingale is useful in the CC. So I have a feeling I built her M3 for this. I'm thinking about going for Ceylon this time actually, and entering Nien skill just for that resistance buff. It's like, I'm not sure. Okay, so like, my whole bet is that it's gonna be Frost Nova right now. If it's not, I'm just screwed over like 4 or 5 days of farming, essentially. Anyhow.
As long as they don't buff her defenses to Avengers territory, you can just probably go with an Exia and Shamar.
Yeah, Shamar skill 2 M3 is gonna be super useful.
Frickin' Shamir.
Was that Reeves? Did I summon Reeves?
Probably.
No.
I was.
Hello. Okay, next question. Okay, this one's actually pretty important for a lot of people. Each time I lose... Okay, each I lose confidence in myself as CC gets closer and closer. Little bit of grammar here, but I guess he loses confidence every day as CC gets closer and closer. What happens if I can't beat Risk 8 or reach Risk 15 in Sector 59?
Well, doing the dailies up to Risk 8 is pretty nice, but it's not like you don't get anything if you don't beat risk 8. You're still getting a good chunk of points. You get, I think the math was 1,000 points per day, which is equivalent to like, if you buy everything in the shop, you can get an extra 11 RMA per day just by doing the dailies. So if you're not beating risk 8, let's say you beat risk 6, I think was it 7? Was the next one down? 6 or 7, you can still get a big chunk of points. You know, even if you're not doing everything. It's not like the end of the world, but it's still nice to get, you know, 8 on every day.
I also think an important factor that all of us forgot to say is that it's the lower risk you clear, the more rewards are given. Proportionally. So for example, if I clear risk 1 through 5, I'm given more than like what, 30% of the rewards. If I clear 5 to 10, risk 10, I'm given 60% of the rewards. And then if I clear up to risk 15, I'm given basically 80% of the rewards. And the last 16, 17, and 18 risk only have 300 tokens, which is very, very, very little compared to what all of the before, so to speak. It's like, it's a really minor part.
Did you have like 16,000 or so tokens from the permanent map?
Yeah, the permanent map is 16,000 something, which is almost enough to buy all the big rewards, right?
Let me check. Knight's document.
You need 8 days worth of dailies and then all the permanent clear to get all of them.
Oh, there we go. 11,400. So like it's a really small portion compared to that because because aside from the risk, there's also specific risk selection. So then we have you clear up to risk 18, and then you have all these other risks. Let's say, for example, the map, they force you to pick, let's say, Originium, health enemy health up paired with Katana blade up and stuff like that. They choose.
There's like pairs, and it's not even just pairs. It's like there's a challenges that cost like, it's like 6 total risk each one, but it's like pairs that would be really, really, like you do like katanas, the 3 cost katana and then 3 cost damage or something for one of them, and it's just like the katana guys will blast you, but it's not like impossibly difficult.
Yeah. Oh, I just saw the interesting question that I would like to. Peacecow, was support level cap lifted in CC1? It was, wasn't it? But I forgot what were the new rules that they implemented during that time. Do you remember?
Support level cap?
Yeah, like they... Excuse me, that was a sneeze. Oh, that's gonna get clipped, isn't it? Oh my gosh. Forget now. So, you know, friend support. If you had an E2 level 30 unit, you can still borrow an E2 level 90 unit.
Oh.
Right?
Yeah. You're telling me, wait, Ian can't do that right now?
No, not yet. It's still limited to the highest within your team as of right now. Which is pretty weird. Because they have the new updated system. Unfortunate, but I think it's sectored into E1, E2 levels. I'm not too sure about this anymore because they might have updated the system, but if you had only E1s on your team, you can only go up and borrow up to an E1 level 80 operator. But if you had one E2 operator in that team, it can go up all the way to E2 level 80. Don't quote me on this, I'm not too sure, this is speculation, but I remember this is how it works. At least back then.
Yeah, there is a few differences in the CC if I remember correctly. I remember on the CC number 2 for CN you had to beat the daily stages multiple times before you unlock it. I remember there was like the tier 1, the tier 2, and the tier 3 risks. You had to beat the tier 1, remember, to get to the tier 2s, and to beat the tier 2 to get to the tier 3s. But that wasn't in the first CC.
I wasn't in the first CC. The daily rotation maps, you go pick all the risks immediately.
Yeah.
So that'll be something we have to check.
Yeah, the dailies you were able to pick them up.
Just wait.
Oh
PN
my
will
god,
get
please
completely
no.
new sets of risks.
Oh, I hate that it's so close together too. It's like CN, the start of the next month, and as soon as it ends,
struggle on CC3.
as soon as it ends, it's gonna be the ENCC. Holy shoot, it's gonna be busy month. Kampung, with the pacing of EN will be a good thing, since when EN and CN has the same pacing, we will be surprised when a new CC event. I think you're gonna need to reward that a little bit, Kampung. Not too sure I understand.
Let me see if I can understand what he's saying. But since Global is catching up to CN, are we not prepared for CC? Even though, okay, never mind, that wasn't the one. Which one did you?
All the way down the row, Kampung 86.
Doesn't have names on here, so
Yeah.
never mind.
All right, we'll just we'll let you type it in again. For now, let's answer the next question. For now, if people can't finish their mastery skills, are they still possible to do high risk numbers? Definitely. This is more than definitely likely. As you already know, I've posted a full E1 clear on YouTube. Granted, the composition is very, very tight when you can't have the leisure of those stats from your mastery, but it's not as bad as it looks, not as bad as it sounds.
Yeah. There's plenty of really, really strong 5-stars that
don't need
can
mastery.
You don't. Yeah, and also, even if you don't have a specific 5-star, you can always borrow, or 6-star, you can always borrow them. And there's only for the permanent map, there's a few really, really key positions for the caster comp and the melee comp, where if you have those, then you can fill the rest of your team with other characters pretty easily.
Yeah.
Saria, Aya, if you have those, then you can do the specific compositions with other characters really easy.
Alright, Kampung over here. With the pacing of EN right now, will it be a good thing, since when EN and CN have the same pacing, we will be surprised when the UCC event comes? Definitely, when you guys catch up, it's definitely going to be a good thing. Everybody gets to experience that as a whole.
Yeah, it'll be really fun when we can all, hit our heads against the wall at once.
Yeah, no more pointing fingers saying, "Oh, global CN is faster than global works," and having, yeah, no. It'll be great. Now, it's only great if Yostar provides us with the supplemental sanity that we need with the adjusted time and stuff like that to make up for it. But yeah, it would definitely be a good thing. Can you beat CC without 6-star operators? Already proven. Full 4-star team. Granted, highly specific and highly leveled operators, so not a good decision, but it's possible. Beating CC without 6 stars.
Yeah, there's plenty of good 5-star and 4-stars that can replace the 6 stars.
Oh, remember Firewatch being used? The only operator having true stealth within her.
Yeah, I use Firewatch for my CC18 clear.
Yeah. Because
you could invisible past and let the caster enemies, the invisible casters, walk by.
Definitely. Alright, question from Mr. Dragon Min H. For CC 25 or 26. Wait, I lost it really quick. 1 second. Where is it? Okay. Pushing. For CC 25 and 26 pushing, do you think there is any other specific potential requirements other than Specter's potential 5? Of course, the overall potential must be high enough too.
Maybe Toki can answer this one.
Yeah, Toki, could you answer this? He's gone.
Oh, he DC'd? Okay. I'm not sure about the 25.
Oh, wait a minute. I was muted.
Oh, there you go.
I muted my own mic. No, the 25s. I don't remember if the cost was really restrictive at the opening anymore. It's been a while since I last watched it.
Yeah, let's go check it again.
Want to watch it maybe?
Yeah. Can anybody link us one of the 25 clears really quick?
You might need potential on Silver Ash if you're gonna be
Hella
respawning.
low. I think he's hella low for the mages, right?
Yeah, and Silver Ash has the passive, reduction in redeploy time. Maybe that's important.
Alright, CC25. Let's watch the one with Sora. Alrighty. So the most important thing about potential in this run is that they have minus 50% cost regeneration, but they don't bring 2 vanguards and only have 1 vanguard. I clicked the wrong button, like an idiot. 1 second.
Good work.
It's like, allow, don't allow. It's like, looks at it for a second, yeah, no, don't allow it. So that's what we're going to be looking at right now. Since for the only thing that Spectre needs to survive is, of course, the potential ups, as we've already learned, on potential 5. But for the other guys, potential 6 provides minus 1 DP. So is that necessary to clear?
No, that's the thing about the extra stats.
They have Texas, yeah.
I'm lagging.
In the case of FEater, it's also the attack speed. Scotty gets redeployment time.
Yeah, you'll have to see if Texas needs that extra cost.
So we're gonna see how tight it is. If there's going to be a place where
12, that's right there. But maybe not.
So then that Texas came in a little bit late, but there was a little bit of leisure for this one. Immediately presses that. Enough time for... So that wouldn't have made a difference over there. Would this have made a difference? Nope, if there's 4 more. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right now there's not that many potential needed. Sora came in sooner.
Look at that healing.
It's because he took health down.
Yeah, they took health down.
Yeah.
So...
It would be very close.
Okay, this would have been tight. This right over here, if you guys are watching the stream. The one where they placed on Spectre might have been really tight.
I think you'd be in trouble because you would have not just the minus 4 cost, or minus 3 cost, I mean, but you'd have Texas and Siege would have had to be, Texas would have had to be placed a little later. So it wouldn't just be a 3, it might be even more than that.
Yeah. Scotty over here. So... Silver Ash. So, I would say potential 5 for some people. And potential 4 for some people, but the attack... Like, the attack on Silver Ash is definitely needed. And of course his, for Silver Ash, yeah. Siege, probably not. Probably potential 4 just to get her attack up would be good enough. You can also have a bit of lenience on Magellan and Sora to not be potential 6 too. Because the only thing that I saw that was spicy was the timing of Spectre's placement. In the placing of Spectre at that time, there was a shield mob coming through. Now, depending on how fast this went, I'm not sure whether or not Spectre would have passed or not. So, I guess the answer would be no, you don't need potential 6 for the other guys. But that's just my opinion. What do you think, Toki? Boats?
I think it's really hard to tell.
Yeah, it's really hard to tell.
Without seeing it. I think it would be pretty ridiculous if you tried that without ever, because you're not just missing 1 or 2 costs here and there. You're missing you're talking about potential 6 everybody, so it's your entire team add an extra cost on everything.
Yeah.
Even if just for the 6th one, which is pretty hard to get. So you're talking about a lot of extra costs. I don't think you could do it.
Yeah.
To be honest,
I feel
now that
like
I think about it.
you can, like, in the team of 7 that we just saw, or the team of 10, I can't remember. I think 5 of them not having potential 6 is okay, but you have to have it on the right people. Let's say, for example, Siege, Texas, Silverash, Sora, and Maglan. Those, and of course FEater. These 5 people were the first deployed operators. So then the cascade effect from them would be the most effective? Would be the most influential. There we go.
Yeah, and if you had like no potential, that's
that's out of the window out of
That's
verse 25.
Specter needs the HP talent, but that's a given. And that's
Yeah. Cat's Twitch username. I hear talk about how each new risk cleared gives more rewards. Does that mean it's smart to only add 1 risk at a time, starting on 1 and going up by 1? Would you miss out by not doing that? Nope. It's like you can go up to like 5 at a time if you want, but if you want, you can go up 1 at a time. But the way it works is that, like, if I clear risk level 5, I get all the rewards from risk 1 to 5. So 1, 2, 3, and 4, I get them, including 5.
Yeah, one thing I remember, didn't they have those golden triangle things in the first one where you had to do a certain number of dailies, and then a certain amount every day you get some daily points for the golden triangle, and you use those to unlock the harder challenges. So you're not even gonna be able to do risk 18 on the first day, are you? Because you'd have to unlock some of those challenges.
Yeah, no. You get up to like...
They're doing like effectively risk 18s. Like they figure out what tiles were banned and just not deploy on those. But you can't officially clear risk 18. You can take the rewards on day 1. Does that make any sense?
Yeah. Okay then. AJ Cool 48. Does the Brawl event that's coming up before CC give a lot of mats? I plan on using the caster strategy and we'll need a Mostima E2. Did it? I didn't remember it to be that good of a farm, at least for me. Code of Brawl.
Caster strat for what?
No. Code of Brawl. Did it give a lot of materials? Because I think
I don't remember. I don't think so.
What was Code
of... Penguin Logistics event.
Do you remember what the drops were?
Map? Oh, wasn't that polyester? Was that polyester?
1 second.
Let me actually check.
It's like everybody's start checking map.
Penguin statistics. Go there.
Yeah.
1 second, please. In the meantime, I guess I'll actually answer some other things. PV Hamu, would you recommend to do core strat or feeder strat for risk below 20? Below 20? I would say I personally prefer feeder strategy. Core strategy requires you to have a ganker that you need to time fairly well and have fairly high stats. And that means you either have to use time Silverash right, time Scatty right, time Red right, or maybe use multiple of Reds. Maybe Gravel, and I'm not sure about Melantha Franco or Mato Imaru, because we haven't tested that out, because nobody has ever shown us or tested that out yet.
Okay, well, Penguin statistics is not helping because it doesn't have the... I don't think it has the right drop.
Maybe
it's
it
only
didn't
telling
drop
me
anything.
Yeah, or maybe it didn't drop anything.
Yeah, okay, so I guess we can assume that it's not dropping anything at all then.
I remember the stages had a... the rewards were pretty good, but it wasn't like... I don't remember farming those stages.
Okay. I'm looking at it right now. CB9. There's like absolutely no drops at all.
Yeah. It's probably a one-time clear.
It was like the Hellagur, or not Hellagur thing. It was like the
there was no farming.
Remember the it's like not milestones. Was it milestones?
It was
I forgot.
It
milestones.
was milestones. You had rankings associated with those achievements. Remember, like A rank,
Yeah.
B rank, S rank. It was like
Yeah.
clear this stage and activate this thing command.
Yeah, you had to get
post.
mugs. You had to collect
Oh yeah,
mugs.
yeah.
All right then.
Yeah. Well,
I guess okay. So then, to answer your question, I don't think it's a good map to farm. There doesn't seem to be
there are
anything on there.
pings. There are
There's-
pings in Twitch chat.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
okay. Well, let me answer this one because it's super easy. Should you buy the siege skin or use on the CC Unlimited shop? Buy the siege skin. It's really good. I'd say skins are good. You gotta deck out your units on cool skins, obviously.
Dab skin.
Yeah, no, they don't give jack shite. It was all yeah. It's milestones. Mooncell wiki. There we go.
The polyester might have been Mac Allen.
I actually remember
Artificial
the
intelligence.
in the first CC.
Oh, this absolute.
I remember farming to buy the potential for CH during this event. It's horrible.
Yeah, no. Unfortunately, there's no farming this next event for EN server. Milestones. It seems. And also furniture. Yes. Alrighty. Let's see. Do leaks reduce rewards? Are there viable strats where you leak on purpose? Definitely. I believe Knight actually.
So they don't
showcased-
reduce rewards.
Yeah, no, sorry. Definitely are there viable strats, definitely. But they don't reduce rewards at all. So if you clear the map, even with, as long as it's more than 0 lives, then you're good to go. So it is a viable strategy. Actually, one of the Risk 18 clears, you choose to just kill only one of the Red Avengers and let the last Red Avenger run away in that strategy.
Yeah.
A lot of the daily maps too, you just don't pick. One second. A lot of the daily maps, you don't have this thing over here. So then you have, for example, on this map, you have 3 lives. You can afford to choose 2 enemies to run away. So like,
In the daily map, you normally have 2 lives. You can let one go as long as you don't choose the 1 life.
so it's a legitimate strategy, yeah. I remember you doing that, didn't you, Toki?
One of the maps I couldn't kill. It was the drone map where they had a ban on melee ops. I couldn't kill everyone. At least. Yeah.
It's like
It's fine.
just let them go, and like it's as long as it's not mission failed, you're fine. You're absolutely fine.
Yep.
Next question, kind of CC related. Is Mostima needed outside of caster strats on CC, or can I just use my Ayala and Skyfire on future chapters? I'm not sure about this because I don't have Mostima again. What do you think, Toki?
To be honest, I pretty much use just Amiya and Ayala and Kyobi.
Yeah.
Express cast just good.
And Angie is the only caster I need.
Yeah.
I
Alrighty.
guess I don't use AoE casters in general because the range is a little bit
Yeah,
off.
the short arms are really hard to work with. Also, Lizzie. Both,
Yeah.
I feel bad every time. Alright.
Lazy is so sad. It's such a sad investment.
Yeah, it really is. Ara Shoda-kun. I'm working on M3 Shaw plus Manticore, Skill 1 level 7 to cheese Katana boys in Risk 18. Can they replace FEater plus Angelina? Actually, I don't know how to answer this. I'm not sure if the movement
Yes.
speed is enough. Toki?
Rez wants to say something.
Oh, Reese. Oh!
He said yes and then he went quiet. I think he's shy.
Yeah.
Where is he?
Worries.
Where is he? Reze?
He died again.
Oh,
he
no.
joined for one word and he died.
I'm too sorry.
Okay, there we go. You're back. Testing 1, 2, and 3.
Testing.
Yep.
Yep.
You're good. Go for it before you DC again.
He didn't DC.
So what do you think, Reze?
I'm here. Yes, you can.
You can? Nice.
Yeah, you can.
There we go. Mantis
Right.
skill 1 level 7 with M3 Shaw is possible. Ramons, I have no Specter or Hellagur. Is that a big problem to clear high risk? Not necessarily. You still have... Well, it depends on what you mean by high risk. If you mean 22 plus and up, that's definitely not as possible as before because of how hard the enemies hit and how much you depend on these operators for the higher risk. But if you mean high risk as in risk 18, definitely possible. I hope that answered the question. Because, like, like, Specter, the only place where she's actually used in CC permanent map is the 15-second stall for high risk during the Militians, the Axe Boys. Hellagur, you use him for either taking out the casters or you use them for taking out the weebs, which is not a viable option if you take high risk on the weebs.
Yeah.
So it's like
Hellagur will get killed
Yeah.
if you take the extra damage. And even the plus the level 2 weeb one, if you have any extra like HP mods or you have attack mods, he's gonna lose if you don't have a really high level Hellagur.
yeah, this one is like Hellagur's death sentence because he has too much defense. Remember, Hellagur or Hellagur, however you guys want to pronounce it, hello, deals physical damage, and if they have high defense, then you're not gonna deal any damage. Hellagur. But anyhow, it's not as huge of a deal as people make it out to be, but it's helpful to have him or Specter, her. Anyhow, this one's a long one, a little bit non-CC relative, but there's rumors that on the CN server we'll receive new events each month, and that CC3 is coming. Now CC3 has just been confirmed. Yes. The question for him is that what do all you guys think about this, not only as a CN player, but as global players as well, since there's a possibility that we might catch up on CN as Azurlane has did, and I think that might be bad news for global, as the game is getting harder and harder to do with each event. Well, that was a long one.
Caught up, huh?
You might want to just read it on the chat over there.
Okay, let's see.
So I'll say my opinions right now then. Okay, so other than the CC event, all of the progress in terms of story, I think we're fairly on track for EN. So the next step of story difficulty is going to be in Chapter 6 and the Code of Brawl event. Code of Brawl actually doesn't have that high of a level requirement, rather than just, again, having certain operators makes those stages so much more easier. But after Chapter 6, the whole difficulty gets raised from what I would say a E1 max level to an E2 level 30 average of difficulty. So by Chapter 6, you should have around 2 to 3 E2s to clear it with a bit of a challenge. If you can still clear Chapter 6 with E1 level 70 squads, E1 max squads, but with like a lot of fine-tuning on every single map, you're gonna have basically in the words of Sans, you're gonna have a bad time.
Yeah. Towards the the original part of the question. I don't know if it's a good thing that they're going to catch up so quickly, because the difference in compensation between CN and EN is so huge. Because just from the daily amount of money and stuff from the base, and then the amount of originum that we've collected over time, we probably have maybe 100 more pulls, just off of, maybe not 100, maybe 80 pulls off of what EN is going to have by the time they hit CC.
Yeah.
And then you count in like an extra maybe 1 million, 2 million LMD from the base. It's huge, just for like a free to play.
Yeah, it really is.
Or even just like an average, spender. The difference between us.
Oh, Techdome over here. Hey Tech, how's it going? I just don't know why the devs wouldn't just freaking make easier risks to compensate for the time lost. It's literally such an easy freaking answer just to be... It would be so easy to implement. Well, I guess it would, but then it... Okay, so the interesting thing is that if they did implement it, what do you think like the CN player base would react? It's like... I feel like it only kind of solidifies the...
Solidifies, yeah.
Yeah, solidifies. I can't English, but yeah, I think it only will help to solidify the fact that all the CM players that already thought Ian was behind and inferior to them would be even more inferior. Yeah, it would, like, it sounds like a good thing, but like the stuff that it influences is probably... Also, I know for sure CN players would complain like, oh shoot, they got easier stuff and stuff like that. Everything would be turned toxic, which I wish it wasn't like this, but like that's
I think they should be giving a little bit more rewards.
Yeah.
I mean, to be honest, I think they've given less rewards. Like we on CN, we had so many free 10 pulls just from the start to this event. It's absurd. And then you compare it to like Ian, and they only got like what, like three 10 pulls versus ours, like we got like 7. I don't think there's any reason why Ian shouldn't get at least another extra 2 or 3.
I don't know, it's weird. The thing between the publisher and Yostar and Hypergraph. I don't really have a say in that.
This Tectone guy. Trying to troll me in the chat.
Yes, Botsy.
Wait. Since Tech is over, okay. Wait, is Code of Brawl actually coming before?
We don't know, but it looks like it might be.
Cause like they released the announcement, but at the same time, it's like, I mean, I guess there is enough time. You got until, so what day is it today? It's like the 20th, the 22nd, and then we have like what, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, we have 4 weeks until the first CC event. For sure, we definitely have enough time. Is it for the greater good to catch up to CN?
It might be for the greater good. Depends on how much they compensate. I think if they compensated a little bit more, then it would be fine. Because you get most of your resources from the events, so even though you're getting less LMD, the amount of experience cards, the amount of like just base upgrade materials is huge from the events. It's most of what your materials are for upgrading. So that part is pretty covered. It's just the LMD, the experience, and the originum that you're missing.
Yeah.
For the most part. And also because you're limited to how many originum you can use per day, and there's less days. So even the whales are a little behind.
I'm trying to find the event. 1 second. Next question. My question would be on missions and rewards. What are the missions for the daily and permanent maps, and what are their rewards? The amount of event currency. Well, we've already seen this on nights. 1 second. Over here. So you can read right over here that you can get all these contracts and stuff like that. Now, the interesting that he wants to ask is, He knows that the rewards give diminishing returns the higher the risk, but he hasn't seen any of them listed anywhere outside of the Chinese streams. I think it would calm a lot of players to know that not being able to complete Risk 8 for all the daily maps or Risk 18 for the permanent one doesn't mean missing out on a lot of materials. Now this does require a bit of calculation on our part, which unfortunately I can't do because I don't have the stats anymore. But like again,
I remember the big thing is to clear at least 6 on the daily map.
yeah,
That's
the
when
big
you
thing
get
was to clear 6.
You get the gold triangles to be able to unlock more risks, and you kind of need those to go to progress a little higher. So at least 6. You know, even if you can't beat 8 every day, go for 6.
6 was... Wait, I want to look at this really quick. 6 was rather simple to get, right? Allied decreased by 50. Yeah, 6 was actually relatively easy to accomplish compared to 8 because of the limited tags and stuff like that. Like, yeah, okay, so 6 is the break off for the daily the daily risk then. Wow, I didn't know that. I just did 8 every single time. I was like, okay, let me just spend 5 hours on this daily rotation map just to get risk 8. It was absolutely aggravating, and I hated it so much because I was doing exams at the same time too. It's like, study for exams, play game. No, just fuck all. I hated that time. What strategies are there for dealing with top lane Avengers besides feeder, Shaw, slope support? Well, I think we already know that the only other two options are the Korra strategy and the Hellagur strategy. Do you know of any other strategies?
For
Toki?
this one?
Yeah, for the top lane Avengers, Toki or Boats.
I mean, we already covered.
You can use Neural also to take the Avengers. You don't need Korra specifically.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you could also use Bison if you wanted, but he wouldn't be able to heal. Never mind. I don't think he could. Never. You would have a lot of trouble because he can't heal.
Genji said top lane Avenger you could use Specter and Schwarz.
If you had Saria, maybe you could use another defender. Or not Saria.
Didn't know that.
Angie. If you had Angie, you could use another defender because you could pass it.
Oh, okay. See, I'm learning stuff too. It's like I didn't know about the Angelina strategy.
Do we have to? This is a question to ask us. Like, we have to, stall them or anything like that? Because we could probably use Spectre and Schwarz. Just kill the Avengers.
Yeah, we could do that.
There was one other strategy I saw. If you have Indra, you can beat a couple of the white Avengers with her.
Oh. That's
nice.
Yeah, because she has life steal, and she there's a spot where the Avengers stop. Right at the start, you can have if you place down Indra really quickly, you can just kill the Avengers with Indra.
Oh.
With their skill 2 proc.
Okay. If you have Indra, bad start. Oh man. Let's see. Okay, this one's actually pretty interesting. Out of the rotating maps, which ones were the hardest, easiest, and most fun? Now this is I think I talked about this a lot. I absolutely hated the abandoned tower map. Like, this one was the bane of my life every single freaking day that it appeared. This one was just fun for me because Vanguard, call it a day. What about you, Boats, Toki?
This one was pretty tough because I didn't raise Myrtle. So I was in a bad position. I had to take Zima and Zima for every map because it decreased the cost of my Vanguards. So I used Zima and Siege on everyone to get the enough cost right at the start to be able to survive.
What about you, Toki? Did you like Baron Plaza or Banded Tower more? How about Area 59?
Plaza more. I like plasma. I don't like the drones either. Well, maybe it's not so much the drones, but like the tile banning or the operator banning.
Uh-huh.
Especially
I had so many snipers for Abandoned Tower. I don't know why, but I built like 4 snipers E2 for this.
I think there was like the 2 days where they banned a bunch of tiles, and the 1 day where they banned melees. Period. Right, because they're in addition to the drones, they're also the axemen, right? Those lumberjacks that come down as well as a swarm of little bugs, and not having melees or enough melee slots to deal with those, that was really painful.
Where is the no melee one? I can't find it. Oh, there we go. Day 5. Yeah, there we go. Anti-mobility with can't deploy melee operators was absolutely atrocious.
Alright.
Imagine...
No melee and speed 100%.
Yeah. Like, this is...
I think on that one, if you also you notice, for people, you don't need to pick some of the risks to get to 8. Like, if you count up the number of risks on each one of these things, you'll notice it's like 11 max. So you can skip out on some.
This
is convention. This is terrible.
I hated this one so much. It was like, okay.
4 operators.
Yeah, this day was... Okay, I remember this day especially because I had to borrow an Exia E2 level 90 to just, like, have her skill 3 look backwards and kill every single mob that was there. It was just absolute...
Yeah.
Like, okay, so you say can't deploy melee operators, right? All of the summons that count as melee also cannot be deployed. So if you deploy Maglan, if she's on skill 2, you can't deploy the drones. If you have freaking Mayor and the drones, the freaking Meebos are melee, so you can't deploy those either. So it's like the enemies move fast as hell, and you don't have anybody to block them.
You have damage reduction.
And you have and you have damage reduction. It's like what? I don't even.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Just realize you don't need to do 11 or whatever on these maps. 11 risk.
Yeah, thankfully.
You can skip out on some risks that are super ridiculous. So if you were like a regular, you're not trying to the dunk on people with the 11 killer. You can take off, either the can only bring 4 operators or can't bring melee.
Yeah.
Rope. You can't use them on the melee tiles, I don't think. If you use rope or Shaw, I don't think those work.
No, I think rope and Shaw, the ones that can deploy on melee tiles, were also banned on that day.
Yeah. Rope and Shaw are melee operators, so you can't use them with this tag either. But yeah, if you guys have the time, do take a look at this thing. Assuming that the first CC event is going to be completely the same as CN, then this really is very, very helpful in deciding what you need to do. Although the strategies are endless because of each thing. Excuse me 1 second as I get a drink. Okay, regarding the Abandoned Tower map, Risk 8. I have not seen Estina, Shirayuki, etc. being used. Most videos have 5-star units like Meteorite, Blue Poison, Manticore, Angelina, Glaucus, etc., which sadly not all free-to-players have. Is there a way around these 5 or 6-star units based on the tags available for all the days this map comes out? Abandoned Tower drone map. I'm not too sure, actually. Is there a way around these 5 to 6 stars units based on the tags available? What do you think, Toki? Boats? Because right now...
around...
Yeah.
Can you repeat the question?
Because, again, this ties back into the topic that we were talking about before, where the 4-star units are mostly utility-based. Now, this... especially the range units, so to speak. It's like, okay... So in the case of Estina versus, let's say, for example, Earth Spirit, Estina actually has really high burst from her skill 2 or from her skill 1. Both of them have really high burst. Meanwhile, the meme of a skill where it just slows movement speed but stops attack of Earth Spirit, it's like, I can slow, but I can't deal any damage at all. And frankly, with the map as how it is, you are very limited on the spacing of which you can put your operators on, so to speak. It's like, it's a huge place where like you can't funnel anything down there. Everything is plant versus zombie mode, where it's just one lane, straight line, and you need coverage. And that's the problem with that one. It's like, why is Angelina good? Because I can just place her facing left or right, use her skill 3, and it covers all of these lanes all at once. Of course, there's a lot more nuisance to it, but that's essentially the case. With the same with Glaucus. Place her down in the middle, skill 2 hits everybody and stuns everybody while doing a fair amount of damage. Shirayuki, I think the issue with Shirayuki versus Meteorite is just basically because Shirayuki has that weird bug where her skill, where her what was it? Is that her shurikens shrink with the skill 2. And she doesn't have that much AoE range. Everything is spread out. If you don't have the AoE range, you're not able to kill that many enemy units, and then that becomes an issue too, I think. Toki, you were about to say something?
Yeah, I was just going to say just that. So that Meteorite skill 1, the explosion radius is actually pretty large. It can hit 2 tiles over.
Yeah, so like, for example, if I put Meteorite right over here, I can hit all the way to this tile, and it'll hit this enemy over here and this enemy too. Now, if I use Shirayuki if I use skill 2, she would throw the shuriken, hit this drone right over here, and only hit this drone, which is basically using an AoE operator on one enemy, which, of course, is not a good idea. And then you have the whole issue of targeting with the AoE operators and stuff like that.
There's a lot of really nice characters you can use on that map too. Like on the right side, on the range tiles in the middle, you can put Executor and face him backwards, and he will do a lot of damage on those against the melee operators that come melee enemies that come through That's usually how I handled those.
Yeah, for me, I just place Angelina over there, and then I place Platinum facing left, Meteorite facing left, and call it a day. So like, as you know, there's a bunch of stuff that you can do for these maps. Why don't you see them that much? Because at this point of the game, the CC map, you have to take in mind that the people that like to show off and do upload have it show off because the runs are clear and they look nice, or like they're fun to watch, or something like that. Nobody wants to watch. Well, not many people want to watch you using a Shirayuki and just see her struggling to clear out these waves as like every single drone almost bypasses her, and then that's like picked up by an Exia and stuff like that. It's complicated, unfortunately. Alright, on to the next question. Also, not really related to CC, but for CN, how much time was there between the first CC and the Chapter 6 release? It came like, what, 1 month afterwards?
Oh, it was in November for the first one, and then in March, I think, for the second? Or was it...
Chapter 6. CC and Chapter 6, right?
Yeah, CC and then Chapter 6.
Chapter 6 was in December, I think.
So, maybe I'll check the Moon Cell wiki again. But...
I remember looking it up. 11/19 was CC. So I'm not sure exactly when second CC was, but I'm pretty sure it was.
No, the first chapter once. Yeah, dead month. We had a lot of quote unquote free time during the weeks during in ENCN.
We had like whole months. A month was just dead.
Yeah, this
login.
Thank you so much, Superior. Oh, let me see if I can find the
If you want to look at
Event.
character release, operator release time, maybe not.
I just say events. That's
Oh, you know what we
fun.
could do? Here. I'm just gonna go to GameStop and see their banner. GameStop. Not GameStop, GamePress. Freaking hell, I get those two messed up every single time. GamePress banners.
I don't know what you'd find on GameStop.
I know, right? I was no. Freaking. Zach's not saying blue. GameStop is that dying company. Yeah. Thank you so much, Superior. Blue. Freaking please don't do that. Anyhow. So Mostima. Joint actions, Mostima. Okay, yeah, November 19th to December 02, and then Blaze came at December 24th. So it
You're
was
looking for bagpipe for the second CC.
So we had around like what 3 weeks. 2/24. Yeah, we had 3 weeks between the first CC and Chapter 6 release. So there's that.
Yeah, 4 months for. Yeah, 4 months for the between CC1 and it'll be from the first CC and the second CC.
Yeah, bagpipe. We had 3 months between those two.
Which makes sense because it's supposed to be seasonal, so you've got, I guess it's between this one and the second one's gonna be about 3 months. So
yeah, 3 months again. So I guess it
four per year. So
mm-hmm.
once a season, I guess.
So it is
there
once per season then. All right, you guys got any questions?
Drill electric.
Yeah.
Broca and Reach. The bait banner happens like a week before Blaze.
That was interesting.
This one's so. I still wish I had Reed.
You gotta find Arknights and GameStop clip. There you go.
Have we talked about the trap risk? There we go. Yeah. I guess we did. Yeah, there's like. Just to reiterate, there's certain risks that you never want to take at all. So, this one, for example, Eradication Module 3, bomb material increased by 300, attack increased by 100%. Other stuff like, if you don't have good Vanguards, infiltration, deep infiltration 3 is definitely not a good thing.
The deep infiltration is basically, do you have Myrtle?
Yeah.
That's basically, do you have Myrtle? If you do, it's okay. If you don't, then don't do it.
Yeah. Also, remember that you get a lot more refreshes, and your operators don't refresh when you fail the mission. Only if you refresh manually will they change. And if you ever run out of refreshes, just go to a manual a stage that actually uses sanity and just clear that stage with the support operator and it refreshes for you.
Just go to 1-7 basically.
What? Yeah, go do 1-7. Yeah.
Can't go wrong. Farming 1-7.
All right. Peacecow, how difficult is Risk 12 daily, and the op requirements for it? Toki, take it away.
At least full team of E2s for each of those dailies. I think you had to have full team of E2s, and some days, depending on the risk, depending on the day, really, also Mastery 3. Like the Baron Plaza ones, for instance, because when you take max risk, it's almost always the opening that's going to be the hardest. So your Vanguards, Texas, Myrtle, Siege, Exia, actually. Exia as well. You'll want those Mastery 3. As for the drone maps, it's a bit more varied because they ban operators depending on the time of day. Like there's one day they ban snipers, for instance. But in general, you're looking at your ranged ops plus Silver Ash, and maybe 1 or 2 more melees that are good at anti-air, like Chen or Lapland. You need a lot.
Yeah. How about the...
Yes,
not that screwed if you don't get Mostima. You can always borrow her, but she's nice to have and for the caster setup, but she's not like you're gonna you'd be severely hindered if you don't.
I wonder.
I would say the caster comps are more dependent on having Aya and Ifrit than they are on having Mostima.
Because like I've been wondering how different would it be if we had, let's say for example, instead of Mostima, I had Angelina with freaking May, the sniper that slows. So instead of having,
I've seen people use May better as instead of like an Angie.
They don't have May yet.
Come again?
Well, they should have May with the Mostima banner, but what you do is instead of using Aya or Angie, I mean, to slow the katanas, you use May.
Yeah.
And you can do that. That's one way of doing that.
What I'm thinking is instead of doing that, it's like, you know how like the usual composition is like they had Mostima over here, Ayala over here, and Angelina over here, right? Instead, and of course Ifrit up here on the top. Instead, what they could do is probably May over here facing right. Ayala is still over here facing right, and Angelina with her skill 2.
I think you'd have a better time
with
just using a support at that point.
Yeah, okay, yeah, fair enough. Just support.
Because even though her slow is nice, you're still, you could just pick a character that does slow every hit. And you're going to get more damage from them because it's, caster damage versus May, who's doing like, against all that armor, you're going to do like no.
They're all really heavily armored on the permanent.
Yeah, Nightmare. Nightmare is kind of nice.
Yeah, Nightmare, there we go.
The bonus from Nightmare, I think, is mainly the slow, though.
What's the special time with...
Much.
Sorry.
The yellow one is increases push, doesn't it?
Yeah, it just increases your push level by 1.
So that was a tile specifically for Mostima. Like, you place Mostima there and you get a tiny bit more push on your skill 3 if you used it. But it's not going to be that big of a deal.
I'm thinking... Yeah, actually, we could put a rope there, maybe. And pull the Avengers away from the Originium tile.
Yeah.
Tank them easier.
Ooh, that's actually... I've never even seen that before.
No, that was a use strat for, like, risks 15 in day 1. Back in the day.
Interesting.
But it fell off really quickly because using rope is, like, just using an operator slot for not that big of an increase.
Not really worth it.
Yeah. Ganchis, for Area 59, if I use Breeze at top right for melee team healing, putting down with skill 2, is it a viable option? Oh yeah, I saw that long time ago. Sorry about that, I didn't answer that.
You're going to have a real hard time with
I don't think...
team using a healer, or using a medic, because normally you ban medics and casters, because that's like, if you're doing a melee team, you pick a healing defender, and that's free 2 points. If you cover your healing with a melee defender instead of with a medic. So it's really hard with a medic because you have to take a lot of extra, really tough risks to cover for that points. Like, just look at some of the risks that you have to take, and just think getting to 18 would mean taking. Once you get to 18, you have to start taking risks that you don't want to take. So if you're adding an extra 2 on there, you're talking about once you get to 18, it's like there's very limited amount of risk left over that you can choose from, and it's like you're picking between like an extra 70% HP on enemies or an extra 50% damage. It's the having that extra medic is not going to be able to cover for that penalties.
Trade-off's not worth it.
Yeah, it's just not worth it. Like, you could try it, but there's... Like, you're basically giving out a risk, because when you do cast melee strat, you're not going to take this. So, like, this over here is basically 2 free risks. So this is why Saria, Neural, and, to an extent, Gumi were very, very used, were held very high. their opinion was held very high. I can't English, but like they were very, very useful in CC just because of this. Banning healers and casters. But yeah, that was... Sorry you had to wait so long for that question. Probably not a viable option, TLDR.
I think if you were going to pick support units to put up for friends, Saria, Silver Ash, Aya are like probably going to be like the top 3.
Definitely. I also feel like Siege and Myrtle would be good choices too.
Myrtle, skill N3, skill 1,
Just ask your
potential
friend.
6.
Just ask him over Discord. What do you need?
Wait, what?
If you know. Well, you just ask them if you know them, but because depending on the daily maps, you can probably coordinate with your friends in that way. Right?
Oh yeah, wait. Don't they only update after the
No,
day
they
afterwards?
don't. They update on when you do it.
Oh really?
I checked after after you said that. I asked somebody to change their operator. I know you said I asked you about that before, but
Yeah, I always thought that was the case because that's what we tried the last time. Did they update it again?
they update right away.
Okay.
Once you do it.
TIL. TIL. So yeah, coordinate with their friends to see like I need X operator immediately and just do it.
Next question: how do you find friends?
Oh my gosh.
Post your. It's easier posting your ID on Discord is one thing.
Yeah, like that
But
is.
if you want a better option, just go through the list of friend IDs and add as many people as you can, and then eventually you'll get to. It's easier to try to add other people than try to get people to add you.
Yeah, like you can just go into Discord and find like an Arknight's official people are just posting their own like who do I have, just go on and add them, and I think they'll
Just add the last 50 people on that list.
Angelina may be useful because not many people put on support. I love the fact that like CC basically was like, yeah, no, Angelina support actually good now, eh? Oh. Zach, plug your Discord and arts again. What?
Look your Discord.
I don't know. What do you mean by arts? Just flex your M3 support and people will add you 5 head. Oh my gosh, so true.
My M3B hunter.
M3 skill 2 B hunter.
M3 skill 2 be under, please no.
E2 level 70 B hunter.
It's gonna be great. No.
Wow. Was that the last of the questions? Wow, that's actually pretty quick. I didn't think that would. It was actually 2 hours. Holy shoot.
What was? Did we go through all of the list of questions?
Yeah, like I thought there would be a lot more questions, but apparently nobody wants to ask the questions anymore. It's like
Do we have
I mean,
any
I
more
guess it's
questions
too
in
far
chat
away.
that we didn't answer.
Probably missed 1 or 2. Ask away if you want. Yeah. Like I'm just.
Too bad today wasn't a day that has one of the missions. I checked this morning
I did too. I was
on
like,
which the can't see you try one of them.
That's unfortunate.
yeah, we could have showcased it today, but today is not the correct map. Peacecow, it'll probably take some time for people to barrage with questions. I guess so. It's like right now, it's like 1 month away. Nobody's really that. Oh my god.
Contrary, everyone's talking about it.
Well, everybody's talking about it because every content creator is talking about it. But now that Code of Brawl is coming out, you already know what's gonna be up tomorrow.
Any Code of Brawl questions?
I mean, I guess so. Code of Brawl questions. We might as well go and answer that in the meantime too.
Code of Brawl.
I know a lot of people didn't try it, but I'm pretty sure Amiya E2, her skill 3 would be very good against the
Mouse King.
The Mouse King. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I never tried it, but it seems like it would be really good.
But then again, I just use swords. One full bullet round and he fell down really quick.
Wait, swords? Wait, what?
Swords for Mouse King.
Oh, Schwarz. Oh, yeah.
M Dragon Min. Anybody plan to create a Discord server specifically for CC with low and high risk rooms so people can discuss strategy and specific support friends? Oh,
There's a strategy room in the
Arknight's official Discord, I guess.
We have a CC strategy room in the fan Discord.
In the RIH.
Whenever there's a CC comes on, we have a CC Discord for strategies.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they have anything like that for the official server.
Yeah.
Too bad.
AKO strategy.
Honestly, not gonna lie, AKO strategy actually does have quite a few good people. Of course, there are a few like people, but sometimes it's like
Not
quite a few number crunchers.
Is it too much? Like too memey?
No. Like it's actually pretty pog. Like holy shoot, you know Meow Off Hitler?
Yeah.
He goes there a lot. Then again, he goes to other places too a lot. But yeah. No questions, eh?
Alright.
Wait. Play's like, wait.
What's the name again?
Turn up the music. I love this one. By the way,
The name of what? I'll fit
Zach, see this?
You're gonna get baited.
Oh.
What's this? Rez, I can't. What's the meme?
Yep, pushed all the way back there.
How did you get him into there?
Yeah. Oh, Shaw plus some freaking feeder.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
You can get the big boy stuck there. Angelina skill 3 and feeder skill 2. Oh. Hey Eli. Elishan. Peacecow, play the masterpiece on stream. Please don't do this to me.
Oh,
What is that? What is the masterpiece?
Oh,
we need to see this now.
oh my god, the masterpiece OGG.
Yep. Now we gotta see
Something
it.
extremely embarrassing. Now I want to see this.
Yeah.
I hate you guys so much. Alright, to end the stream, let's watch something that freaking Nox made. Credit to Nox. I hit the body! I don't even. What am I supposed to say? Curse. Absolutely. It's just my voice lines that I messed up. Oh my god. Of course.
That's very strange. Now.
Thank you very much, Nox. That was very, very needed. I fucking can't.
10 out of 10.
Oh my god.
10 out of 10.
Alright, Zan, I'm just gonna go to that channel and download it for you.
Yeah.
Wait, what channel is this in?
Oh, that was in general chat.
Okay.
Alright then. Well, I guess... Oh man. Well, I guess that's it. That's all of it for today. we don't have any more questions? Do we want to talk about anything else?
Bagpipe is the best character in the game.
Yeah, please no votes. Don't raise this.
Botsy starts the next waifu war.
Yeah, no, not like this. WW3
Undisputed
waifu
best
war 3.
waifu.
Wait, what did you say, Boats?
Undisputed best waifu is Bagpipe.
No, okay.
It's obvious.
Freaking Nino.
Alright.
Okay then. Oh, I guess that's all there is for today. Zach, are you going to stream the CC event on Ian and CN server? Definitely. Whether or not I'll be able to stream it every day is something up for something in the air. Is that how the expression goes? The question is still up in the air. Something like that.
Yeah, you got it.
We'll see. I really hope that I can share it with you guys. It's gonna be so much stuff, so much fun. Anyhow. Oh, I guess that's it for today. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye! And of course, Boats, REZE'S, and Toki. Thank you guys all for coming today.
Thanks for having me on.
Yeah.
Goodbye, y'all.
Ring bye!